friends, and welcome back to my channel. So I filmed this video yesterday and I was really lacking motivation and like kind of the go-getter attitude that I feel like I generally normally have. And I was hoping that getting in and doing some plant chores with y'all would help motivate me and motivate you, and we could have like a nice little plant chores motivation time together, which is normally what happens when I'm not feeling motivated and then I film a plant chores video. Unfortunately, yesterday was not one of those days, and I was definitely feeling the lack of motivation and not necessarily feeling the most positive vibes. I got stuff done, so I mean, I guess the video did help me get stuff done, and hopefully it can help you get stuff done. But if you were here looking for like a sort of positive, go-getter attitude Emma, this video might not be the one. So let's just jump straight into it then. Starting this video has been so freaking difficult for me. I've been procrastinating it all week just because when I go away or like stop working for a little while and then come back, the first couple videos that I need to do, they feel like an absolute slog. It's really hard to get back into that sort of content creating mindset that I've been out of for the past couple weeks. And I feel like almost my motivation entirely disappears. And it's hard to describe, but it just makes it really difficult to begin again. And that's kind of why I like making plant chores videos, because then it kind of forces me to get back into the plant care thing. But at the same time, I procrastinated even more because I have to film it, and it makes it like ever so slightly harder to begin. But we're going to be doing some plant chores today, get back on top of things. I have some things that I mentioned in my updates video that I wanted to get done, as well as some other random bits and bobs that we need to do. And like I said, I would just prefer to do it with y'all. So that's what's happening. Before I get into it though, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, welcome back. I really appreciate it. I've even forgot my own intro. This is the normal for me. My head's just still not in it right now. But I think we just need to start, and then I will, like, starting's the hard part. It's always the hard part, and I mean, I hope some of y'all relate to this, just because it is so difficult to get that first thing done. And, like, I've even pulled some of the things that I want to be doing, and even still, I'm like, I don't have the motivation for it. So let's just push through this mental block together right now. And I can set up on the floor for convenience. Also, I set up here because I thought Cleo was pretty freaking cute just laying there. So she's all tucked into her thing. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I'm really having to hype myself up here, guys. Okay. It feels like kind of a dumb decision to start with probably the plant that makes me the most nervous, but at the same time, I'm just gonna do it. I've been putting off repotting my regale for quite a long time because it was growing that new leaf before I left, but that leaf has fully come in and hardened off now. And I think this is just in desperate need of some sort of attention. It's just, it needs a little something. I think it probably needs a bigger pot down here, because it's not in the biggest pot compared to like the size of the freaking plant. Do you see that? The pot is tiny, and I found that anthuriums really like a nice vertical pot, and I really struggled to find those in self-watering because that's what I like to have this one in. But I found something that I think will suffice. Let me go grab them. Okay, so this is the weirdest tall, skinny pot that I have that I think would work the best. I don't know. I'm going to give it a try. I got this from Eastern Tropicals. It's like the biggest one they had. And the person who owns Eastern Tropicals says she really likes these for like rehabbing imports and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, this isn't a recent import, but it's time. And I feel like even just being able to, yeah, I guess you can't really see that from there. Even just being able to pot it deeper means that more of this stem can be underneath. And I'm sure I could probably chop and prop this. But that terrifies me as well. I need to not get that in my head that I'm gonna do that, because I am not. Okay. Ah. Let me get a potting mat and stuff. Oh, I just feel like, I don't know, things just feel slightly difficult for me right now. And the reason why I'm not excited about this pot is because it doesn't have a water indicator. It doesn't have a water indicator, and that means that I'm not going to be able to easily tell when this one's thirsty, and this one is thirsty literally all the time. I honestly feel like it'd be better in a giant, no drainage. I feel like the start of this video has been such a struggle. But I literally got these pots for this, because I thought it would make sense. But I don't really want to move it twice if I do decide to put it into no drainage. Either way, I need to do something, because this regale is just not a happy camper at the minute. It is not loving life and being a bit sad, and it's got like hella roots coming out the bottom, which I don't think is helping the sort of leaf situation. Like, look at those roots. I feel like they're all rotty, and maybe that's why the leaves have gotten so crap. Look at that. I mean, they've just gotten really, really unhappy. I need to do something. Maybe I've been putting this off because it doesn't feel correct. I mean, that still fits in there, so that's not the worst thing. I could put the indicator from this, I could attach it to that pot. We're gonna do some some DIY here. Oh, okay. Let's just pull it out. Let's just pull it out. Lay her down. There we go. It's coming. Oh my god. Oh my god. I feel like that Bob's Burgers meme. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. There is just so much rooting in here. These are literally the forbidden udon noodles. Look at those. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. Like, root porn if I've ever seen any. Okay, I feel like the right thing to do would be to move it into here temporarily. But you know what? I've just realized that these are about the same width, so the only thing I'd be adding is height. But I do like that this is clear, so I can see what's going on if there is rot, which there currently is, and I have literally just been ignoring it because I haven't been able to see it. Oh. Okay, okie doke. Let's give this a go. Also, I pretty much exclusively have small semi-hydro. Oh, this is gonna be too small for these holes. Cause watch, if I do this, it's just gonna pour out the bottom. Because normally I have enough sort of leca balls and big pieces of the chunky semi-hydro that I can just put at the bottom to sort of cover that whole bit, but unfortunately I don't have enough of that. And there's like not really enough in there either. Okay, so the best thing I could find was, it's either chunky pumice or zeolite. I feel like it's chunky pumice, but because it's chunky, it doesn't fall through the holes as badly. So I can just do a bottom layer with this stuff. I might actually rinse this really quick because I don't know if you can see all that dust that was coming off. It needs a bit of a rinse. And then we attempt that. The transfer. I guess we just put more semi-hydro around it. I don't know, all of this just feels a bit incorrect right now, but it might just have to be this for the time being until I find a better vessel for it. Because this vessel, I thought it was going to be perfect, but it is certainly not. Oh, I also wanted to put in this steak properly. So that it has something to stand itself up on. Sure, that's fine. I just feel like this isn't working. So I feel like because there wasn't much extra width in this pot, I'm not getting that sort of coverage of the roots. Like they're just still super duper duper, I feel like exposed isn't the right word, but like look at that, it's just so exposed. I dislike this whole thing, but I don't know what else I can do except for cut it. But that also absolutely terrifies me. I feel like this was just all a really bad time. Okay. I mean, that might just have to suffice it for now. I really don't like that though. I really, really don't. Okay. Ah. So just pop that in there. Maybe I just need a bigger. Gosh, this is just so unstable. Would this work instead? Because if I put that there, yeah, then I can put this all the way down into that and essentially treat it like it is a self-watering pot. I don't even have to like tape it or anything. Like, I guess that's the front. So if I put the little indicator there, that'll do, I guess. I don't feel very confident about this, to be honest. I mean, if you couldn't tell by my general lack of enthusiasm. I feel like something just isn't quite right, and like normally I try and go with my gut on things, so it makes me a little bit nervous to have it be not feeling good. Okay, like I said, this is just gonna have to be what it is for now, and I can sort something else out if I find. I need a massive vase if I'm gonna, like, I need a vase essentially the size of this nursery pot. Like a really, really big. So essentially I want a giant cylindrical vase. That would be my ideal. That's what I prefer it for. No drainage, because it just makes everything work the best in my opinion. So, okay. We're gonna put this back. We're gonna put this back and then be done with this thing, because this is not worked how I wanted it to. Okay, let's put some water in it. Make sure it's hydrated. That's kind of the most important thing. So that'll do for now, and we'll see if I've just literally killed my plant. I really hope I haven't. Oh, okay. On to the next. I've got another semi-hydro one that I think won't be as bad, so let's set up for that. This is my Alocasia Black Velvet. As you can see, it is pretty meh, and I think, I don't know if it had like a flower or something and that's why it got cut in there, but if you look in there, like the new growth point has ended, and so I feel like it's not actually going to get new growth from that place ever. So might try and chop and prop it. It looks like it might be a new growth point coming in somewhere near it. Either way, I really don't like this self-watering pot, so I want to change it, and I think it would appreciate it if I did. Yeah, like the roots on it are not fantastic. I mean, that's gonna die now because that doesn't have any roots either. Okay, well, fine. Fine. So the roots themselves aren't rotten or anything, which is great. And this stem bit's not rotten, but I feel like we just need to do a little bit of something to get it in a better spot. Maybe I could use this tall guy. No, I don't have a, I don't have a meter for it now. Okay. Oh, there's a corm in here. I should keep those, because I might have killed my black velvet. There's loads of corms in here, fab. I feel like one of these pots, self-watering pots, is my best bet with this one, just for the pure size of it. I know it's gonna look really freaking weird because it's gonna look strange. It's gonna look not exactly right, but it didn't look great before. So some sort of change is probably better than nothing. And I need a strip for a wick. I really hope that I don't kill this one because I do really, really love it. It was one of my, not first Alocasias. I feel like I've had loads and loads and loads of Alocasias, but it's definitely one that's up there on my list of favorites because, I mean, who doesn't love a nice black velvety leaf? Okay, then we can go in there and it can just be generally slightly lower. It's not hugely lower, but it is better. There we go. I told you it was gonna look weird. It does. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And I think it's possible, maybe, that those little things there might be new growth points. It's possible. I don't know if that is for sure or not, but it seems like it might be likely, which is good because that means that it will get some new growth at some point, hopefully. And if not, I have these 3 corms, 3 lovely little corms that I probably want to shallow puddle. Oh, do I want to peel them? Sometimes I peel my corms and sometimes I don't. Do y'all peel your corms? I don't have any pure shallow puddles, like little sauce containers, but I did find this, which is one of the things that normally goes in the IKEA cabinet, and it kind of has a lid. It's a drawer with a lid, and so I'm just going to make a little pond box for them, essentially, because I feel like that's the easiest way to go about it. So I'll do that, and then I'll pop in some water and then we can put the lid on. And I guess both of these can go back into the IKEA cabinet because that is where this one came from, and I can hook this onto the shelf in there, which should be perfect. Okay, hopefully this is a slightly more positive note. I have been meaning to pot up my planted window for ages, basically since I got it in May at Malvern Spring Show. And I just haven't been sure what I want to put in it, but I think I have made my decision now. I have in this jar my little begonia in here, but it is too big for the jar now. And I feel like this would be the perfect thing because I know this is a terrarium begonia. I'll put the name on the screen, but it's this beautiful black and silver lined begonia that I feel like would just go perfect in here. And since this is kind of like a frame, so I figured we could pot it up together finally, because it's been a hot minute. So the fun thing about these planted windows is that it comes with exactly what you need to fill it out. So first up we have some gravel, and then 2 is a layer of charcoal, 3 is soil, And then I think you get some decorative sand for the top of it, which is this lovely like red color. So I'm literally just going to plant this out, and I think it shouldn't be that difficult. And the other joy of this like square terrarium thing is it's handmade, but it's watertight. That was not the sound I was expecting. I was expecting it to be different, but it's watertight, so I don't need to worry about water dripping all over sort of my surfaces. I think the charcoal layer is for like purification, because I feel like charcoal is used in like filters and stuff. Ooh. So just as a sort of protective layer to make sure everything stays nice. And then you can pop the soil in. I'm gonna put half of this soil and then pop the plant in, and then we can put more in. And I'm gonna put the plant kind of like directly in the middle there. I feel like that would make the most sense. I can just unpot this little guy. I watered it the other day, that's why the soil is so moist. But I'm just gonna pop that, pop that in there and kind of push the soil around it. Does that look stupid? I hope not. I was hoping that this would be like slightly easier to work with because it's not got the sort of like bottleneck like a typical terrarium does. But it is still not necessarily easy. Okay, that's slightly better, kind of. And then we can just put the lid on, and we've got a little terrarium in there. I feel like that looks really good, and it will, in theory, fill out the space a little bit. I could put more plants in there, but I kind of don't want to. I quite like how it looks on its own, and we can just like see how it grows in time a little bit better when there's not loads of other things in there. But it just looks so cute. I don't think I'm gonna put the decorative sand in though, just because I feel like the red would kind of, it wouldn't mesh with the vibe. But I'm honestly just going to keep it in this sort of zone so I can keep an eye on it. And I think it looks really nice there. I should give it some water though. Just a tiny, tiny little bit. So the motivation is still not motivationing at the minute, but I'm gonna try and persevere. We will see if it works, but it is time to put some more moss into my Mandula Pothos moss pole. It is like, it's just time, and so we can do that. I have some more moss here. Of course, it is the typical Soil Ninja stuff, and I'm just gonna start popping it in. And oh, do I want to take off? I'm gonna take off my rings for this because it's, I don't know, it just makes my hands feel more dirty. Not my engagement, not my wedding band and stuff. I don't like taking those off, because those just like feel like part of my hand at this point. But the other rings, I feel like it just sometimes maybe they're overstimulating me. Maybe that's it. But we can just pop some moss straight into here. Oh. I feel like this needs to go pretty high at this point. It is nearly at the top. I mean, I say nearly at the top. It's not quite, but we're really getting there. And I mean, this one is like, it's just a very healthy plant now. I think it might have had thrips at one point, but before I moved it into this spot, I did pop some Provento on it because I don't fancy, like I didn't want to spread the sort of badness around. And I feel like, I mean, I talk about this a lot. I don't really like recommending Provento. It's not what my ideal solution would be to pest problems, but occasionally it does kind of just need to be done, in my home at least, just because it is, I have a lot of plants and a problem can get out of control quickly. But I feel like I said this before, I feel like I'm pretty okay at preventing them with the predatory mites. I think the ones that I was dealing with were just ones that came in potentially even last summer. They were like the really, really harsh ones that I really struggled to get rid of. I think they were kind of hopping around from plant to plant, and I wasn't able to like fully get rid of them because they kept traveling to new plants. And so that was part of the issue. That may still be what's happening, but I have been able to eradicate them from a good chunk of my collection. Where are my small zip ties? I really hope that this video's helping motivate some of you who maybe weren't in the mood to do plant chores, or like were really feeling out of it. Like, I think part of it is just having like come back from being away, but the other part of it is, for me, I just, when the weather is so dark, it makes things really, really difficult for me, especially this time of year when we're transitioning into autumn. Like, I really want to get into like the nice, fun, cozy autumn vibes, but the house just feels dark all the time. And I think the answer is I should probably just turn on my grow lights more often. But it's like that costs money. And I value the sun so much that when it's not around, it makes things harder. You know what I want? Instead of like cloudy, dark autumn, I want sunny, bright, red leaves turning crunchy autumn. Chai lattes and stuff. Autumn. I don't know if that makes sense. It feels like that's so against what you would think my character would be based off of like how I dress, and sort of like I am slightly more alternative in my vibe. And so I feel like people would think that I love like scary movies and that sort of like dark, spooky autumn. And while I do like aspects of spooky autumn, scary movies are an absolute no. And the dark, rainy, gray weather is also an absolute no for me. So, I mean, I think in reality, I am just a summer girl. So that's that. But yeah, it's just, I sincerely hope that nobody else is going through this sort of lack of motivation, because it really freaking sucks. But I'm sure maybe one or two of you out there probably are, and hopefully, like I said, that this video helps encourage you to get back onto things and get into some plant care with me. If it has, let me know what you've done in the comments, because I can be proud of you just like I'm somewhat proud of myself for actually doing things. Okay. I think that's okay there. I'll do one more cable tie. And then we can sort of dust off the leaves. There we go. We are at a better height now with the moss pole, and hopefully these leaves can continue to grow well and actually pop into the moss pole. This one, it does grow into it quite easily, at least at the bottom. There are loads and loads of roots down in that pole, so that's really good. But I guess we can just put this back. Oh, it's heavy one-handed, but that should be fine. And the other thing that I really do need to do, but I feel like it almost feels like too big of a job for today, is to do my nematodes. I tend to do them twice a year to get rid of fungus gnats, and I have noticed that fungus gnats have been coming out a little bit more lately, probably because things are staying slightly more moist because it's cooler and darker. But I tend to do them in autumn and in spring, and that lasts me pretty well throughout the year. I can never really eradicate all of them just because the collection is too big. It's almost impossible, and I do think they do live in the moss poles a little bit, which are harder to get the nematodes in. But I got my nematodes for autumn, but that is such a big job. And like once I've taken them out of the fridge, I don't think I can put them back in. So they're just in my fridge at the minute because that's like they stay like kind of dormant until they have been warmed up and put in water. So it just feels like such a monumental task to go around and like give everything a little spray of water. I don't think I quite have that in me right now. It has taken all morning to do these like 3-4 tasks. I'm pretty sure I started filming at like 8 something, and it is now nearly 11. And just like in between doing them, I just sit here contemplating my life. Not even really doing that, like just sitting here almost blanking out. I don't know. I think I'm tired and non-motivated today, but the plants don't stop growing and they don't stop needing things sorted. So unfortunately, this is a job that we have to keep doing, or my plants could die. I mean, I could let them do that. There's definitely some plants I have just let die. Speaking of, it's probably time pretty soon for my I'm a plant murderer video, my annual video where I talk about all of the plants I have killed each year. I find that to be a fun one, and I think it's a good one to show that you're not alone in killing plants. Even me, an expert, I don't call myself an expert, other people might call me an expert, but even me, I kill plants on the regular, and it's just part of the normal thing. So I am just going to sit here and have my next 30 minutes of existential sitting. And we'll see if I can work up the courage to do another task. The other thing I want to do, or I should do, is water my cacti and succulents, but that is also such a big job. Everything just feels like a big job, and the difficult thing is normally when I'm feeling this way, I can like start out with doing like one task and it'll just kind of snowball and I can like get into the groove of plant care. But every once in a while, that just doesn't happen, and I think this is just one of those days where it is feeling a little bit more difficult, and that's okay. I have a new friend though. Look at my little kitty cat skeleton that I got from Morrison's. It's so freaking cute. And I know that cats don't have bones in their ears, but how else would you know it was a cat? It's just freaking adorable. So, okay, it's fine. It's fine. I also need to clean all this stuff up off the floor. I like all of the tasks I've done, I've just like left little piles of mess. Today is hard. Fungus gnat. I really do need to do these frickin' nematodes. But I didn't do anything else yesterday. I just like, I didn't even fully clean up. I still got crap on the floor. I took my potting mat off the floor, because that is just, I needed to make sure that got cleaned. But all of my other plant supplies are still out, and it is just a bit of a general mess at the minute. I'm proud of myself for getting what I did done yesterday, but I just did not have it in me to get anything else finished. So it just didn't happen, and I was hoping that like in the afternoon, maybe after a break, I would come back and do more things, but no. So this is where I'm going to end this video. It's a very odd one for me. I feel like I don't like being so negative or putting out this sort of negativity. No, it's not negativity. It's just like sort of indifference. I don't know. It's a very odd one for me, and I'm just going to put it out there, and it was my reality. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future. If you have any advice for any of the things that I felt like I was struggling with, it's all accepted. Thank you. And subscribe for more. Thank you all so much for watching and sticking with me through my weird mental oddness. And I will see you in the next one. I hope you're having a fantastic day, better than mine. And yeah, don't forget to keep growing. Bye!